Hello and welcome to my studio journal. Now back in 2022, I started to redesign my home studio, shifting from software to hardware for the first time. What began as a few videos for some curious students soon became an ongoing unfiltered record. This is probably the most complex wall in the studio. The piano wall, I've had that together at the main desk. A lot of that stuff was new too, as far as the stuff from Native Instruments. With the modification of the desk, that was all new as well, because I've never seen this wall completely put together. So this wall started off with actually two bookcases on each end and the drum set right in the middle. When I decided to turn it into a synth studio, it's just going to be these two posts and literally a rack mount in between these two posts, all the way from ceiling to floor. Well, what happened was I ended up developing a situation where I had more things, but they weren't rack mountable, so then I decided to move to shelves. And then I got some more stuff yet and decided to turn this over into shelves as well. Now the thing about putting this into shelving units is that it lightened up the space a lot. You could see the wall behind it, gave it a little bit more depth. It wasn't as heavy furniture kind of weighing down the room. Also, there's a water access panel that I need to get to once in a while, and it's right in between these two posts over here. And this way now I just need to remove like 5 shelves and I can get to it. But that also then left a problem of, okay, I put a drum set here, which is great, but I also had one more larger synth. Where was I going to put that? And I kind of figured out a solution over here. But this wall I've yet to see actually put all together, so I don't know what it's going to look like, so we're going to soon find out, I guess. Okay, this shouldn't be a surprise. This is an Elvarli, I believe it's pronounced Elvarli, closet system from IKEA. This was going to be, once again, between these two posts. I wanted to find something I could put a rack rail in. And so I ended up getting this set of rack rails. And the idea was it was going to go in between like that. I was going to have them mounted. Once again, I kind of abandoned that idea, so we decided not to do that. So, got a bunch of shelves. So I start off with these bamboo shelves, which of course are no longer made. So I had like, I think 4 or 5 of these bamboo shelves, which had to be cut to this length because they don't come in 19-inch sizes. So I had to cut the shelf. But I also wanted to put lights on the shelves. So I got this thing right here. It holds up to, I think, like powers 9 lights through this little outlet right here. You can make it so it's voice commands. So you can just say like shelves on, that sort of stuff. And this will turn all the lights on. Problem was, this only allows for like 9 lights to be hooked up. So I had to get another one of these things to connect the other lights because I'm running more than 9. Then I had to get this cable to connect the 2 modules together like this so I could just power everything with one switch. I don't know if that's going to work yet. We're going to see if it's supposed to work like that. Plus, I needed to have another set of brackets to add another shelf to the system. First, I'm going to get the shelves in place. They're pretty large lights in here. I'm going to attach the lights to the shelves, and we'll kind of see how everything goes at that point. These are the shelves, and there's about 1.5 inches of particle board running lengthwise, and I would imagine at the end as well. But inside is a cardboard-like honeycomb type texture. So this part's really hard to cut through, and then you get to this cardboard stuff and it just rips through it really easy. But anyhow, that makes the shelves extra light, so that also keeps the weight down on this whole shelving system, I should say. So anyhow, now all it's left to install is 4 lights, and then we'll test them to see if they actually run. Once again, you see that's that water access panel that I was saying that's behind there. So now all I need to do is remove these shelves and whatever's on them, which will just be 1 piece of gear each, and then I can get to it. Now we take a look at all of these cords here. All of those cords have to be hid. There's even way more over here. Now I also bought these clips. There's about 110 in this box right here, and we're going to use those clips to kind of mount these cords so we don't see too many of these cords kicking around. this, there's a few things we have to do first. So one is we're actually going to plug all this in and make sure that all the lights actually turn on. I want to do it right now because I can get to this wall and I can actually do things I need to here before I start moving things in place. It becomes a lot more tricky, like getting in and tacking things to the back of the rail here. Another thing is these cords, like this is from the bottom shelf, right? I mean, these cords are ridiculously long. They can reach right across the whole room. So it's going to be a combination of these little tiny clips here and also probably Velcro ties. I might end up doing this and kind of making circles out of them. Try to hang them in kind of obscure locations so you can't see them as much. Try and get rid of some of the length of this. So I'm just putting everything where it's supposed to go, and then I'm going to start hooking things up. Then I'm going to test it to make sure it actually works while I can still get to everything, instead of running all the cables underneath the desks and then having this tangle of wires that I got to sort through if something doesn't work out. This way is much easier to kind of put together things one at a time and make sure everything works by itself. And we're just going to get everything put on the shelves in the right place and finish this wall first. But that's the next step, is to test to make sure all the lights work. Once all the lights work and we know they work, we're going to hide these cords and do it proper so things look a lot better. All the cords are hidden. I got clips on back here. You can kind of see them running along the edge in here. That's just the way it's going to have to be. It still looks nice and neat and tidy. The reason why I did it that way is because, remember, if I want to remove these shelves, I can't have it tied in so tight that if I remove the shelves that I have to undo all the lighting, and this way I just undo 2 clips and that shelf can come out. So it's really not a big deal. And that's kind of what I was going for there. Now, the other thing that I have to look at is I'm going to put the drum set in place because I have kind of a shelf and a lighting system that's going to go in here as well. And once we're done that, we can start loading this whole area here. All the lights and the shelves are in place, and the drum set is now set up. And there was a kind of a great big gap between the 2 shelving units, and I need to put another keyboard someplace. So this is what I came up with. Once again, it's very similar to the riser that's on the main desk. It's just 2 fence boards put together with a 2x2 at the end of each one. Now the problem is, well, it's sturdy enough that probably nothing would happen. I actually have another 2x2 that I slide down kind of in the middle of this drum set with another board that's here that will support it. So I'm going to do that in a minute. Anyhow, so that's how I ended up solving that problem. So I could actually use this as storage for another keyboard rather than just having that space kind of be empty. And it looks like it's a little crowded in here, that this symbol might be actually underneath this, but it actually sticks out by about, I don't know, but maybe about that much. So it's actually easy to use. So everything in here is working pretty well. So now it's going to be on to, well, maybe bringing up the synthesizer to put on that particular platform right there. If you'd like to follow the full journey, check out my online studio journal linked in the description. Until next time, I'm just a music teacher having fun. Catch you on the next one.